Hey everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ethan. For those of you who do know me, I am CJ from San Andreas. Don't ever forget that. Anyways, today I wanted to address a topic that, bless me, thank me. I wanted to address a topic that I felt I maybe should have spoken on a lot earlier in my self-improvement journey, but that I don't know. I guess I kept getting sidetracked. But yeah, it's the issue of being honest with yourself, as I'm sure you could have determined from, again, reading the title of the video. I feel like I keep these pretty straightforward at this point. I don't know why I even bothered trying to introduce the topic. I should really just get right into it. But yeah, being honest with yourself. I feel like another thing that holds a lot of people back in regards to their journey of self-betterment, self-improvement, whatever you want to call it, is honesty. I feel like a lot of times we make excuses or we try to find ways to lie to ourselves in order to avoid doing the things that we have to do, or the things that maybe are a little bit more difficult, or that we don't necessarily even just want to do. And I think that kind of defeats us. It takes away from the journey. It is counterproductive. So I feel as though it's really important, it's very imperative that we are honest with ourselves at every stage, at every point of the journey, regarding self-improvement, self-betterment, etc. I can recall a few times in which I myself was just not being honest with myself. For the longest time, I would always say I'm really self-aware. I'm a very, reflective person. I can be very, very, I forgot the word, but whatever. I'm very self-aware. I'm very capable of looking within myself and kind of determining why I am behaving or feeling a certain way. I've always been particularly good at that. Probably because of how desperate I was to kind of fix myself for a very, very long time. But I would always say that because of that natural inclination that I had towards being able to deduce what was wrong with me on my own, I would begin to, feel that I don't need a therapist. What is a therapist going to tell me that I don't already know? Therapists are just going to lie to you. Therapists are just going to feed you a bunch of baloney so they get a paycheck and then throw you back out into the world where you're going to have to fare on your own and then ultimately be defeated by the perils of existence. But that's not the case at all. I can wholeheartedly say that in the past few months, my view of therapy has shifted very, very, almost 180. I went from feeling that way about therapy, viewing it in a very negative manner, to now being in a place where I see the necessity of therapy, because while I am a very, very, self-aware person, and I do have a pretty strong grasp on what motivates me, what motivates my actions, my thoughts, my feelings, my behaviors, so on and so forth, and maybe how to resolve some of those things, there are a lot of things still that are left unresolved or unchecked or even undiscovered that therapy has been helping me with and has helped me with. And so it really just boiled down to me being able to benefit from therapy by being honest with myself. because before, other times I'd tried therapy, I just wasn't being honest with myself. And I think that's why maybe I never really saw the value in it, and I was never able to benefit from it, because I'd sit in these sessions and I wasn't being honest with myself or with my therapist. I'd tell them what was going on, sure, but I wouldn't go into it with an open mind and an open heart and just genuinely be 100% honest with therapist and with myself. And I think that's really, key, as I've said, to being able to discover yourself and to improve upon yourself. Being honest with myself has honestly just been very, very freeing as well, because it's allowed me to really confront myself in ways that I never had before. When you aren't so honest with yourself, you find ways to tell yourself, oh, it's okay. No, I don't need to do this. No, I don't need to do that. No, it's fine. It'll work out. So on and so forth. And that's not to say that things aren't going to work out. Things will always work out the way that they're meant to. But I feel like there's a difference between allowing things to work themselves out passively versus taking an active role in the way that things pan out. Because some things are out of your control, genuinely. And those things, you need not worry, because why worry about things you can't control? They're going to be the way that they're going to be, whether you play a hand in it or not. But the things you can control, why leave those to chance? Why not play a hand in the way that those things reveal themselves or fulfill themselves? Especially if they're things regarding your own self. I think it's doing yourself a disservice to not grasp that bull by the horns, Just be honest with yourself. Confront the things that you've been avoiding, the feelings, the thoughts that you've been avoiding. Allow them to, take a place at the forefront of your mind, but not to control you. Just address them and be honest when you do. For example, like if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I can't do X, Y, and Z. Sit there and maybe try to, qualify that. Why do you think you can't do it? And be honest with yourself. I feel like a lot of times people just resort to, oh no, I just can't. Oh, I'm not built for that. Oh, I don't have the skill set necessary for that. So, but it's something I used to hear a lot when I was going to school for art, and I'd come across people fairly frequently who would always, feel the need to come up to me and ask me, how do you draw like that? How did you get like that? And I'd say, I don't know. I just do. And they would always say, oh, I wish I could draw like you. Oh, you're so talented. And I'd say, well, you can, with some time, some effort. And they say, oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, I can't. And the reason is always the same. It's just, oh, I'm not that talented. But that has nothing to do with it. Like, sure, there are people out there with a more natural inclination to being able to do these things. Maybe they'll accomplish these things at a little bit more of a faster pace than you, but everyone moves at their own pace to begin with. So why compare yourself? Comparison is the thief of joy, right? So just start. You're not being honest with yourself. Because if you were to be honest with yourself, it sounds a little bit more like, oh, okay, I'm not there yet. But if I were to take the time to practice this skill, then in time, I could potentially reach this level, if not more. I grew up with kids who would see me doing art and feel like, oh, they'll never reach me or my skill set. But then they start, and then before you know it, they're breezing past me and my abilities. And it's really just about how much effort you're willing to put in. And it's about how honest you are with yourself. It all starts with being honest with yourself. And instead of telling yourself that you can't, tell yourself that you can't yet. Maybe start there. That's all it is. That's all it boils down to. Yeah. Just be honest. Anyways, as always, if you want to talk or if you just need someone to listen, no matter the reason, negative or positive, I am here 24/7, 365. Just reach out to me through any of these social media links in my description below. They are always there and I am always available. Feel free to reach out because you are not alone. You're never alone. And if no one told you today, I'm proud of you. And I love you. Hey, man. Or woman. Or circle. Donut hole? I don't know. Keep going. You got this. And yeah. I guess that's it. So, until next time. Peace.